Right, so we'll start off this week's episode talking about the England squad quickly. Any changes you would have made? Anyone would left out? Anyone would you to put in?
Well, I've seen a lot of it. I do like the squad. So I think overall the squad's okay. But I think it was Jamie O'Hara, he lost his rag on Sky Sports News. And I do kind of agree with him. And he was saying, this ain't club football. And he named probably 5 of the players. I mean, I agree with him. How Calvin Phillips has got in that team. He's played 50 minutes of Premier League football this season. What's he doing in the team when you've got other players? I mean, bit controversial. I like him, but James Ward-Prowse, I don't think he should be in the England team because I don't think he's good enough. Just because he takes a good free kick and the occasional penalty, I don't think that, it's not American football. We don't have...
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. If we're having to look at Ward-Prowse, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And him turning around saying, I might have to look at championship players, I think that's a bit of a joke as well, because there are good enough players, and there's good enough players overseas.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've got some good talent in all over the country now. All over Europe, sorry. Do you know what I mean? I just find it... Yeah, you pay good money to go watch England play, and they're not even getting in their clubs, and I think that ain't quite right, is it? You're meant to be picking them on form.
Yeah, but I read something earlier that made a lot of sense. Well, I was watching Sky Sports News, and when they talk about the yesterday's papers or whatever, and they pick an article, it's from this guy, I can't remember his name, but he was saying them players have never ever let that guy down. Maguire's never let Southgate down, ever.
Yeah, but then
so why wouldn't you pick him?
The other is maybe they have let him down. They haven't won nothing. They didn't win the Euros. They melted it. They bottled it. They bottled it. They should bet. We're better than Italy. We're much better than Italy. And I'm not having anyone tell me that otherwise. We are so much better than Italy. We're better than Croatia. So much better than Croatia. They've done well, but they could have done better. And I think you both agree.
Yeah, well,
it's the first time I've ever seen us in a final.
Yeah, but they didn't win it today. So maybe it's time to step up.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, Tomore is a Serie A winner. Do you know what I mean? Harry Maguire, he won the League Cup this season and only played 8 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that, with international football now, you don't get, there's pretty much no friendlies anymore. You get the odd one. It's Nations League and the qualifiers, right? That's other than the tournaments, that's the only time you get. I just think if you don't use these games, or at least the first few of these games, to try and bleed through some younger, some different talent, I just don't think you're ever going to do it. It's all right. If you was picking a squad for a World Cup tomorrow, I completely understand taking Maguire, even Phillips, because he relies on them, but you need to be taking some players like Tomore, people overseas. I don't even mind them taking a look at some championship players just to see if they work in that system. They go to most games, or they scout around. They don't have anything else to do all year, do they? The England setup, so I don't have a problem with that. I just think if you're going to try something, new formations, because what they're doing now, I do agree that even though we've got to a final or semi-final, I don't think we're going to get that extra step with the way we play at the moment. I think we just need a few new faces in there. So I do think that we should be looking at players abroad in the Championship, players that we haven't given starts to before, maybe for these games.
Yeah, but who?
Well, I just read off a few names there. Tomore, Abraham. I know he's been in the squad before, but who will we start? Who are we taking at the moment as a striker? We're
Kane, Grealish, Foden, Saka.
Yeah, so it's a lot. Other than Kane, who have we got as a central striker?
Tony went, didn't he? Tony's in the squad.
Tony. So yeah, I do actually like Tony for the squad. I'm just, I don't know. It's likely he's going to get a ban, right? He will probably be fine in time for the Euros, but I personally would use this time to bring someone else in. I've mentioned in the week, I mentioned Balogun. That I know people may not like it, but he's been playing well, and even if he comes in for a game, a qualifier, 2 qualifiers, doesn't do it, fine. Nketiah is another one. I know he's injured right now. Been playing in the Premier League, been playing at the top level. Rather than taking people to be honest, I saw something the other day. Phil Foden, he should definitely be in the squad. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I wouldn't even have him as an attacker. I would have him in midfield. I think that's where he's best. And I would use that attacking spot to take somebody like that. Even Callum Wilson, as another option. I just think that we're not looking outside the box enough. It's just the same old, same old.
I agree.
I think the Balogun is an absolute outrageous shout.
But based on what?
Way.
Based on what?
It's just mad. He should be anywhere near the team. Nowhere near.
Based on
the under-21 squad? Why do we have an under-21 squad?
Eddie
if we're just going to play him,
Eddie Nketiah is the highest under-21 striker. He probably does. I mean, I don't know how injured he is. He's probably the one that does deserve a bit of a shout. But
yeah, he would be instead of Balogun. You're picking him because he's an Arsenal loanee.
I agree with Andrew. I think maybe not the Italy game because it is a tough game, Italy. But for some of the other ones, when we're playing these wiggy-woggy nations, I mean, I went and watched Andorra and we won about 5-0. It was like, that's when you want to be playing these, like you say, like some of the youngsters, some of the other players have a look. I mean, to be fair, I think up front, I don't think it's the problem. I think we have got quite good strikers and things, and like I say, I like Tony in the squad as well, but I do think it looks like he is going to get a 6-month ban, isn't he? But
yeah,
I also think maybe he ain't going to get a 6-month ban because surely the FA would be like, no, you can't have him in the squad because I know he picks the team, but the FA must agree or sanction it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like they must. He ain't picking Mason Greenwood, is he? All of a sudden,
no.
I just
so they go through the most popular names that got listed on. After we put it on TikTok, got a few comments. Yeah. Tomori was named on nearly every one of them. Abraham, there's a couple. A lot of people saying Dyer shouldn't be in it.
Yeah, I don't think he should be in it. Yeah.
Trent should be.
Yeah, I think Trent should be in.
I really do. He was mentioned.
He's got too many right backs. Well, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. And they can play in other positions. You've seen Reece James play centre back for Chelsea this season. You've seen Trent playing midfield before. I think
a few saying Gallagher shouldn't be in it.
I don't mean he should be in it. He's not playing enough minutes, not enough game time. Coming on the subs, being sent off a couple of times. I like Gallagher, but I feel like when he comes on the pitch, he just tries too hard and he flies into tackles. I think I've seen him a few times, a couple of times. I think to myself, cool, you're lucky you ain't been sent off there, like for 2 yellow cards or whatever.
Yeah, Mason Mount's another one.
I understand what people are saying.
Yeah, Mason Mount. Not really played loads of football. I mean,
I understand what people are saying about the younger ones.
Should Chelsea really have any players in the squad of how they've played this year?
Ben White.
If we're talking about taking, Ben White. I don't think Ben White will ever play for England again under Gareth Southgate because whatever happened at the World Cup, it was that has done him over. I think whatever it was. I mean, I've heard loads of different stories about it. I'm not going to go into it because I don't know what is true and what isn't. But yeah, I don't personally think Ben White will get in that team. Again, while Gareth Southgate's in charge. Because you think he would be perfect for that thing. He can play right back, he can play centre back. He's playing better than Harry Maguire and Eric Dyer, and he's not even playing in his proper position.
Yeah,
100%.
I just think we have an under 21s team for a reason. Otherwise, might as well scrap that.
If you're good enough, Wayne Rooney played 45 minutes for England under 21s and was in the England squad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're obviously not good enough, are they?
Wayne Rooney is obviously a different breed of player, isn't he? Let's be honest. He was outrageous when he from the off. But
yeah, there's a few that didn't even play for under 20. Michael Owen, players like that.
James Milner played 50 times for the England under 21s.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was possible.
But I just think he obviously knows what squad he wants to go for the next tournament. You're going to pick them players. You ain't going to start experimenting now.
Nah,
and he's going to pick the squad. Yeah,
but he'll always only have a year though. This is the thing. Once the Euros have gone, by the time they get the next international break, it's going to be a year till the World Cup. But he's only ever going to have a year to 18 months. If he doesn't, the problem is, all right, for the Euros, I sort of can understand it, right, because it's only sort of like next year. But these same players, they're going to be in their 30s come the next World Cup. Some of them aren't even going to be around anymore, like playing football or at a high level. So you've got to have some. I mean, I know they've got players like Foden and Saka like in attacking positions, but to not have Tomori in the squad, like for centre back, what's our plan? Like I don't see a plan. Even Kyle Walker's getting a bit older now. Like I just don't see a succession plan for some of these positions. I feel like we're just going to do what Italy did and just keep going with the same team until they all retire. and then it's like, oh, hang on a minute, we need build a whole new defence because they've all retired at the same time.
The Trent one's weird for me.
He just doesn't like him, does he?
Yeah, I get him.
I think
the way he sets up.
I think he can. I think he can defend. I think he gets caught out occasionally because he plays up high up the pitch. But that's how Jurgen Klopp wants him to play. Do you know what I mean? I bet if he got told dug a pass halfway line, he could probably do that. It is unfortunate that you've got like Kyle Walker, who it pains me to say is a fantastic right back, and Reece James, who again is probably the best right back out of a lot of them. But I still think he deserves a place in the squad. He's won everything. He wasn't 24 years old. He's won everything in the game. He must be he must be the highest decorated player of his age. Do you know what I mean? He's won everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With Southgate, though, he likes to play a certain way, doesn't he? He likes a sort of defensive.
Yeah.
Trent is a good. He's world class, Trent, but he's an attacking fullback, and I think that he'd much rather have Kyle Walker's pace or Trippier, who can also take a free kick in a corner and is a bit more solid defensively. So I think under Southgate.
Yeah, but like you said, how old is he? Trippier must be well into his 30s now. Yeah.
If you got Reece James, I think it's better than Arnold.
Yeah, Reece James is probably not, because Kyle Walker, I would play centre back for England anyway.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah, I would,
because he's too good not to get in the team.
Yeah, and I like that pace for a centre back.
Trippier's 32.
Yeah, 32. How old's Kyle Walker? I bet he's about that as well, isn't he?
He's probably about the same age.
Yeah.
Again, he's paying to stay in clubs, ain't he?
He apparently so. I mean, no comment.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion. I got tons of soul on my true collective ball. Famous, also famous, number one.